Welcome to Awesome Feature Friday from AllThingsCX. This week we're going to take a look at some of the features within RingEX, namely quality of service. So here on my desktop I have a call ongoing between Chris and Rhonda, and you may have noticed as a RingCentral user that you have this little bar like a mobile signal, but it's just telling you what's going on with your connection. And we're on a good connection at the moment. I'm on a hotel Wi-Fi. We can see here we've got no real packet loss, no real latency, and that is good. But that's not just for your users. Whilst it will tell your users if they've got a bad call, that's really handy for our network technicians, your IT team, anyone that's looking after a wider estate of users. So if I launch my quality of service dashboard now, we can take a look at all of the calls that we've handled on our platform. And you're seeing a lot of red here, and that's because we're on a demo platform here and purposely seeking out to demonstrate what happens when we have a bad call. So I can see here across the last couple of months, we've had just over 200 calls, and I can start to filter these down. I can click on any of these to then have a look at this, and we can see, we talk about RingCentral being available across all types of endpoints. We've got 5 different endpoints showing here. So app browser, which I was just using, the Teams plugin as well, mobile users, app desktop, but also we're using a Chrome plugin. Just one of many ways you can utilize RingCentral. We can see different networks here. So Wi-Fi is where we're having the majority of our issues. So potentially we have an issue on our Wi-Fi network for at least one of our users. We can even look by ISPs and see certain ISPs where we're having those issues. So I could click into any of these or use the filters to drill down, but I can also have a look at individual extensions. So if I look at myself here, this is my location map, so where I've taken calls over a set period of time, and we can even see certain times of day. So potentially there's something in this user's routine at which they're having an issue, say their morning coffee or Monday between 11 and 12 by the looks of it. We can see the endpoints they're using and their scores, and this is a mean opinion score. So this is industry-wide how we think the perception of that call is against measurements such as jitter and packet loss. We can even look at certain ISPs and go, right, they're having an issue on the downstream of exponential E here. Potentially we need to move them away from that network. Now, if I go into individual calls here, then we can have a look at one of the new features in QoS. So here I had a morning catch up with Darren this morning, just wandering out of my hotel, down to get a coffee and back into the hotel. You can see here I was on Wi-Fi, and then I had a weak connection for 10 seconds. That's while I was in a lift. And then we're on Wi-Fi for a bit and moved to an unknown network. Now, that's because the phone hasn't updated the RingCentral application on the mobile, but at that point I was on a 4G network, just wandering down the street. Then you see, got back into the hotel, hand off to Wi-Fi, no change in quality there, apart from when I went up in the lift again, lost a bit of quality, and then we wrapped up the call. So if I take a look at another call with Rhonda earlier, you can see here it's just going between Wi-Fi and 4G and Wi-Fi and 4G constantly if I let that pop-up show. So we can understand this might be someone that's walking in and out of signal. And whilst this was good on both of those, if they're showing that they're getting towards the edge of their Wi-Fi network and it's dropping out, not handing over correctly, maybe we need to put a Wi-Fi extender in if there's someone that's walking around the house or garden on a call, for example. And the good thing with all of this is we have a lot of data here, so we can see where the user was using this. So on an app mobile, on Android, for example, it may be that we need them to update their device. It may be if they're on if we look at Rhonda, for example, they're on a Windows machine. We can see, depending on the app we use as well, status such as CPU and RAM. So it can pinpoint potentially issues within our network. In fact, that call which I was showing at the start of this is now suggesting it was moderate for me. So we can understand what was going on there and potentially go and investigate. Plus, you can bring this into RingCentral alerts and start to receive email or RingCentral message alerts on certain users or groups of users when there are bad calls as well. So you as, say, an IT team can be on top of everything here. So That is one of the analytics features within RingCentral RingEX, quality of service. Thank you very much for joining us.